Welcome to the Jedi Ranger. I'm Jumpei 555, and it's time to take a look at Star Wars Visions Volume 3. So, I'm going to be taking a look at each individual episode, of course, and then looking at them all as a whole. But with this video, we're going to be starting with, well, the first episode, which is The Duel Payback. So, this is a sequel to The Duel from Star Wars Visions Volume 1, and by the way, the duo and the character, the Ronin, is probably one of the most elaborated on of all the Vision shorts, as is also a novel and I believe a limited run comic book that follows this character and fleshes out the world of the duo a bit more. I have only seen the Star Wars Vision short/episodes. I have not read the book or the comics, so I won't be talking about them. I did do a little research about them just so I understood them, but from what I can tell, they don't play a major role in the story of the duo Payback, so it's not vital that you know what's going on in them, from what I can tell. If I'm missing something obvious, let me know. But basically, in Payback, the Ronin, he's still on his journey hunting down Sith. And by the way, this is actually probably the biggest thing to take away from the novel and the comics, is that the Ronin used to lead the Sith until he realized basically they lost their way, and now he's kind of honestly probably the closest thing in the Star Wars storytelling to an actual Grey Jedi. In all honesty, yes, I don't believe Grey Jedi exists as how a lot of us like to describe them in fandom as, a Jedi who uses the light and dark side. But one, that's in Star Wars canon and Star Wars Legends. Star Wars Visions is its own separate continuity. Everything is non-canon except for when it's canon to itself, and the Duel is one of that part that has an internal canon because it has other stories supporting it. It has its own internal continuity. And in this case, this episode does actually deal with in the Star Wars the Duel universe, like by term, the nature of the Force and all that. And while I don't think you could say that the Ronin is a light sider, he's certainly not a dark sider anymore. And just for context, the episode actually opens up on some abandoned AT-ATs, which has been turned into a gambling den. And the Ronin's there to hunt another Sith. And their duel gets interrupted when a Jedi Crusader known as the Grand Master shows up to get revenge on the Ronin for defeating the Jedi Crusader in a duel back when the Jedi and the Sith were actively fighting each other. Basically, the Grandmaster claims that he's not seeking this for revenge, but as the story goes, it shows that, yeah, he's in this for revenge. That is what he's seeking. And at the very end, after being defeated by the Ronin and the Sith, whose name is ANIMA, I hope I pronounced that correctly, is so defeated by them because they work together. They create a temporary truce and all that. And in his final moments, his vision is starting to fade, and he can no longer see color. Now, mind you, in the duel for the art style, it's a black and white animation art style. It's not showing too much color except for lightsabers and explosions. The Grandmaster, he has a blue lightsaber. The Ronin, Enisan, has a red lightsaber. He picks up her lightsaber instead of his own, and that is when Ronin makes the final blow, defeating him. In his last moments, he basically wasn't a Jedi. He was no longer following the light side. He had fully embraced his desire for revenge and all that. And while the Ronin says there's darkness inside of all of us, and I think by extension, lightness inside of all of us, you could definitely say in that moment he had been the Grandmaster has been consumed by the darkness in his seeking of revenge. There's a lot more to talk about in the show, such as the Ewoks, which so cute but also so vicious, which is just so perfect. And I just love how, I love stories that show Ewoks, they're so cute but also so vicious. I just love seeing that. Also, a Bacta hot spring bath. I just love that idea. Neat way to create some world building as well as establishing that many people do in real life believe hot springs have some sort of rejuvenative, helpful properties. And so it will make sense in the Star Wars universe, even in an alternate reality of Star Wars, that there will be back to hot springs as well. It just makes so perfect sense. And the episode ends with the Ronin and Annie-san dueling, but it's a very flirtatious duel as well. So it's hard to say exactly how that's going to end because that's where it ends. But ultimately, this episode, I think, is about basically the nature of the dark side corrupting someone as though seeking revenge. The Jedi Crusader is telling everyone he's seeking justice and all that, but is he? No, he's seeking revenge. And in some ways, that could also be a dark reflection of the Ronin, who in the world of the duel is established through the books, comics, and the first episode as well, to have been also hunting down his former colleagues as well. And there is a risk that he could fully succumb to his own darkness. So there's that little bit of reflection. Of course, not knowing as much about from the novel and all that, I can't say for sure. But that is definitely a theme that could very much be present. A dark reflection of the Ronin if he would to fully let the dark side consume him. But those are just my thoughts. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Star Wars Visions are always fun because it allows people to tell unique Star Wars stories, not beholden to canon, and also to, as an American, I don't know much about Japanese animation. Sure, you know, there's the stereotypical anime, and I'm pretty sure not all anime actually makes it across the pond, and I don't really watch anime. Star Wars Visions is pretty much the closest I get to it. And it's just neat seeing these different animation styles and the different ways that different people relate to Star Wars through a lens other than my American lens, because most Visions has been made by Japanese animation studios and animators. I think there might be one that was made by a Korean. I would need to double check that. I know it's not this one for a fact. But we're going to hold off on talking about other parts of Star Wars Visions until we talk about those episodes in Volume 3. So join me hopefully tomorrow for Star Wars Visions, The Song of Four Rings. Thank you for watching my video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give this video a like and share. Also, consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date on all my latest content. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. May the Force be with you always.